Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Blue Lounge. I hope you guys are all having a blessed morning. Guys, this is the weekly transfer news update show, specifically focusing and targeting Chelsea Football Club. I have with me, as always, Andreas. Andreas, good morning. How are you? How you doing?
I'm really good, mate. Really good. Looking forward to another episode. As always, a lot has been happening in the transfer market lately, so really looking forward to it.
Fantastic, fantastic. We're going to discuss all of that. Well, I'm saying tonight because we're recording it in the evening, but you guys are watching it in the morning. Guys, before we continue and before we delve into all the latest transfer news, I want to ask you for a favor. If you're new to the Blue Lounge, subscribe, and when you do subscribe, turn that bell notification button on. And if you enjoy this content, do me a favor and do yourself a favor by smashing that like button. Much appreciated. Let's get into the transfer news. Andreas, we have heard a lot of developments in regards to Moisés Caicedo. Moisés Caicedo is Chelsea's number one target as per reporting, as per information. It looks like the path is clear now. Chelsea don't really have a lot of competition. Arsenal got Declan Rice, their main focus, and now they are out of the race for Moisés Caicedo. However, we did hear a little bit of rumours, a little bit of talk about Manchester United maybe going in for him, but the Mason Mount deal, which we're going to discuss in a little bit, seems to also have been finalised. Will Chelsea sign Moisés Caicedo? Andreas, tell us what's going on.
I think it's really, really likely now. The player made it clear that it's only Chelsea, so he gives priority to Chelsea. Chelsea are now trying to open talks with Brighton to try to find an agreement. It's still not agreed because Chelsea have been working all the last weeks with outgoings. Now we know Mount going and all the players to Saudi Arabia, etc., etc. So Chelsea have been busy with this. But we're so relaxed because players said only Chelsea, only Chelsea, only Chelsea. So now it's looking really promising. Chelsea are going to bid for him in the coming days. They are confident to get a price that's not crazy. We saw Brighton media outlets or journalist that works with Brighton says that 100 million plus 120 million pound was quoted, but it's not really going to be that high. Chelsea believe that it's going to be something around the 80 million pound mark. As also Ben Jacobs mentioned, it was 70 plus 10 maybe might be the one to go for with Chelsea. So it's not going to be crazy. Chelsea also have now a lot of flexibility. However, they know and time for the move. However, they know that now they have to get this player because they have sold a lot of players, and he's definitely the priority for new midfield now.
Any chance that Brighton might not allow this transfer to go through?
I don't think so. If Chelsea are going to be crazy stubborn and not offer anything about 70 million pound, for example, then of course I think he has chances to stay. But as you know, Brighton and De Zerbi, they had a pact with the player. He was allowed to leave. It was agreed between De Zerbi and Caicedo, so I don't think they want to keep a player now that's going to be really not happy and very unhappy if this move is not going to go through now.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Guys, we are going to talk about a few topics today. So we're going to talk about Mason Mount as well and how that whole saga panned out. We're also going to talk about Romelu Lukaku, and we're going to talk about other midfield targets that Chelsea have got in mind. So these are the topics we're going to be covering in today's video. And if you haven't hit that like button yet, what are you waiting for? Smash that like button. Andreas, Mason Mount situation seems to have reached an outcome, a conclusion. Chelsea offered Manchester United the opportunity to sit down with them and discuss this face to face. It seems like this has happened, and it seems like an agreement has been reached. Can you fill us in regards to what has happened with the whole Mason Mount situation?
Well, this situation has now been cleared for weeks because both Mason Mount's camp and Chelsea camp felt for a long time now that they wasn't going to find any agreement. Chelsea offered Mason Mount a long-term contract a long time ago with wages of the highest wages they went for was 175 pounds K a week on a long term. So he had that chance to sign that long term. But the last offer they made, that was the highest one, was 200K for 1 year. But it's now looking like it was going to always to be so complicated now. Chelsea didn't want to go over that 200K mark to re-sign him. It felt like he wanted to leave. Obviously, negotiations has not gone smoothly, and there has been a lot of bad vibes after the meetings they had over the new contract. So I think the best thing now for all parties was to let him leave. In Manchester United now, he's going to have a wage with 250k pounds a week. It's a crazy wages, and 50k add-ons. He can even reach 300k with his wage on a 5-year deal. So it's a good deal for him, the player, and also a good deal for Chelsea because they're going to reach another 60 million.
Mm. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I think this whole Mason Mount situation was always going to reach
Yeah.
an outcome. But to be fair, I'm actually happy that Chelsea didn't cave in and they did get a fee which is close to their evaluation of the player. I think it was
Mm.
65 they wanted. They got 60. I think it's a good compromise. Yeah,
Yeah, originally they wanted 70 million, but it was
70. Okay.
negotiated a little bit down, and then they said, yes, we can do 65 plus 5, we can do 60 plus 5, and then at last it was 55 plus 5.
All right, Andreas. Let's talk a little bit about the whole Romelu Lukaku situation. Um, Inter Milan apparently are offering a loan with an obligation to buy, but at the same time, I've read that even the obligation to buy, they want to pay that amount of money in installments, and I read somewhere 25 million in installments.
Mm.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what Inter Milan have actually offered Chelsea?
So what they're offering now, it's basically loan, because if you are going to spread that low cost amount of money for several years, it's going almost to be like a loan fee
Continuous loan,
over.
yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
it's just a continuous loan deal. It's not something that Chelsea really wanted, so it's not something Chelsea are going to accept now. They are going to wait a little bit to see if there is any other offers for him. If he will change his mind, maybe AC Milan will go in and try one more time to speak with the player. Maybe another team in Saudi Arabia will come closer to what he wants for him to be wanting to go there. So it's just a little bit unclear yet. It's nothing that's improving in any sense yet because it's still a lot far what Inter Milan are offering from what Chelsea wants.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So it's a work in progress. The Lukaku situation will not be
Yeah,
resolved anytime soon. Yeah.
yeah, you can say it's work in progress because now at least sources at Chelsea at start of transfer market felt maybe some chances for him to actually stay. But now, after talking with the agent of the player and been having discussions with him, they now understand that the Romelu Lukaku train at Chelsea is now totally gone and done and dusted. Really.
Let's talk about the midfield situation, Andreas, because Chelsea have offloaded a ton of midfielders.
Yeah.
Um, there are names that have been mentioned. What can you tell us about the potential targets for Chelsea in regards to the midfield? I mean, Caicedo is
Mhm.
hopefully coming in, but who else is Chelsea looking at?
Yeah, so as you said, like the main target now is Moises Caicedo. Then another name that's really, really high in the list that they see as a potential replacement for Mason Mount is Gabri Veiga from Celta Vigo. A really, really talented Spanish player. that can come in, that scores a lot of goals and has a lot of creativity. So he's one to really look out for. The only problem with him is that also Manchester City are interested in the player, but they are waiting a little bit to see what's going to happen with Bernardo Silva. And then other players, it's still really open. They have many players in the list. Samuel Ricci, as I already told, Barella, another one. But they have not really went for someone yet. I know that Chelsea now have a lot more players, Lavia, and we know some of them, but they also have some secret names that they haven't shared to any media yet, that they want to keep secret, and that we might see them going for some moves from any of these players later on in the transfer market. So it's just a really open situation at the moment with this midfield situation, but they want at least now, after Mount leaving, 3 new midfielders.
All right, fantastic, Andreas. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Today's show is a quick one. It's a quick episode, and the reason why we've done it this way is because I've been busy celebrating Eid, and Andreas, even though he's not feeling too great, he still made time to make this
Yeah,
episode. Andreas, thank you very much for your time, brother. Thank you very much for your time.
thank you
Any
for
message?
being on.
Any message to the fans? I mean, do you want to say anything to them? Like, about
Yeah,
subscribing and liking the stream, the video.
the only thing I want to say is I want to see all your comments down below about what you think about Mason Mount leaving, a player that has been at Chelsea Football Club since 6 years of age and now is signing for a big rival, a 5 years contract with 250k pounds a week. What's your thoughts about that?
Yeah. That is a massive situation. And to be fair, a lot of the players have already made their thoughts known about this.
Yeah,
We've seen some activity on social media for a few of the players.
yeah.
Anyway, Andreas, thank you very much for your time. We will see you again next week for another episode. And guys, make sure you subscribe and like this video. Very much appreciate it. Have a great day, and we will see you in the next upload. Take care, guys, and peace.